You are watching Limited Resources Draft Series on MTGO Academy featuring Marshall Sutcliffe.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources doing another draft with you here on MTGOacademy.com. Well, we open a Siege Dragon, and I think we should probably just take it here. Like, Constricting Sliver and Devouring Light are arguably better cards. I mean, they're probably both just better cards than Siege Dragon is, to be honest. But Siege Dragon is a big bomb, and it's the only good red card in the pack as well. There's a little bit of a sway back in that direction, and I think it's close to power level with Constricting Sliver, so we'll take it. Okay, a good red card to follow up here, a Borderland Marauder. It's just the best 2-drop in red, and there's nothing really pulling us hard in another direction here, so we'll take it. Try to see if we can't just be red. All right, looks like we may need to branch out here. We don't want to take a Foundry Street Denizen, and I don't really want to take a Crowd's Favor here early. There's plenty of good stuff in this pack. There's an Ingarrick's Wake, which unfortunately is just really too expensive under almost all normal circumstances. That's just not really a thing. Midnight Guard's pretty good. Typhoid Rats is nice. I like Peel from Reality quite a bit. Kite Fins is a decent finisher. A lot of sort of mid-level options that we can take here. I think I'm just going to take the Peel. I think Peel's a little underrated. I like Peel quite a bit. And interesting, here's a Paragon. We've already passed one. If we can get the other one back, things can get pretty ugly. Getting 2 Paragons can get out of control pretty quickly. There's, again, no good red cards in the pack, only a Foundry Street Denizen, which is not a good card. There's a Feral Incarnation, which can be quite good, except for that we'd have to move into yet another color here. I'm just going to take the Paragon here and maybe move over into blue. All right, well, this gets a little more interesting. Again, no good red cards, so I think we're going to have to jump ship on red here, but there's 2 good options here with M15 Pathmage or Flesh to Dust, and I'm going to take the Flesh to Dust. I mean, it's very, very solid, and I take it as a bit of a signal here to get it 5th. Yeah, at least somewhat. I'll take a Divination here over an Ensoul Artifact or a Void Snare. Or a Blood Host, or a Witch's Familiar. I think Divination's really good. This one gets a little more interesting. Encrust, Blood Host, Necrobite. It looks like we're leaning towards blue-black here. Let's move these red cards out. Again, this pack literally has no red cards in it yet again, so we can certainly take that particular hint. I think the question is, like, do we want to do like a Blood Host or a Meteorite, or just like an Encrust or a Necrobite? I guess I'll take the Encrust. It feels like we're definitely blue, but if we focus on blue, maybe we can figure out a different way to go. The one thing I really want to see is if the Paragon comes back. It's unlikely that it does, but it is possible, and if it does, then that really sort of sets us firmly into blue, and we can kind of pick where we want to go from there. And we've still got 2 decent red cards and a decent black card, but I think that given the pattern that we're seeing here, even if we do get decent red cards in the second pack, which we likely will, considering that, well, not likely will, but we definitely could, considering that it's getting cut really hard from the right. It means that coming back to the left, we could see it. We won't get any in the third pack, and that's a big consideration. All right, 2 good cards late here, a Pillar of Light and a Nimbus, but I'm going to snap up the Nimbus since it's in our color anyway, and dingo, we got there. Interesting. There's also a Divination in the pack, which is even further evidence to the fact that blue's wide open and we're in where we want to be here. So yeah, let's take the Chief Engineer, the best 2-drop, the best card out of those 3 blue cards. Nice. So a little bit of staying open and maneuvering may pay off for us here. Now, one thing we have to consider, so we've got 2 Paragons, but we really want a bunch of other blue creatures to make them good. We've got a Nimbus of the Isles and a Chief Engineer. So, now we're going to be on the hunt for cards like, say, Welkin Turn gets a lot better. Maybe pick up another Nimbus of the Isles. That M15 Pathmage that we saw is going to be gone, but, pick up one of those at some point can be really nice too. And then, of course, 2-drops. Like, if we just pick up a bunch of Research Assistants, that goes a long way too. Yeah, Kite Fins, sure. I'm pretty happy to pick up a Kite Fins there, actually. And this could be interesting. This could get interesting, kids. With double Paragon, you know, we're like one Paragon or one like military intelligence away from actually considering this, which is pretty insane. Don't want that, though. Our second color is still completely up in the air. I think we're going to be able to focus really hard on blue, especially in the third pack, but maybe even in the second. I mean, it looks like we might be the only one or one of only two people at the table who are in blue. So you got to love that. Oops, sorry about that. And there you go. Okay, so let's see what we get out of this next pack. This next pack's a big question mark. I think the third pack's going to go well for us, but if we can really up the power level here, ooh, baby, could get ugly. All right, so this is an interesting one. There's a Chord of Calling, which is sweet. It's not a great card in Limited, but it's a good card, and it's certainly playable. And it might actually be worth some tickets, too. I better check. It is worth 3 tickets, which is probably enough for me normally to pick it. But since we're on video, I can sack a little value here to try to make the best deck possible, which I think is going to be Jorubai Murklurker. We're already dipping over into black anyway. And on top of it, it's just an insanely good card. Gravedigger, Necrogen Scudder are both sweet. But I'm going to take the Murklurker here and kind of assume that we're going to run this Flush to Dust. It is our best card. That is not blue. All right, well, this is a fairly easy choice. Frost Links, I think, is not, there's really no equivalent. I do have my eyeball on this Research Assistant. We want as many of those as we can get almost, but yeah, but Frost Links is just too good. Yeah, Aether Spouts, sure. I mean, I kind of plan on being the aggressor, but Aether Spouts it's kind of a unique effect that can really change the course of a game, and I don't really feel like we can pass it here for something mediocre in black like a Child of Night or a Carrion Crow. All right, so nothing really good for us here. We can run one Statute of Denial and be fine with it. I think I'm just going to take a Bronze Sable, though, as kind of a backup plan here. But this pack was definitely disappointing. And yeah, this one's not very good either, but we do pick up a playable at least. We could run a Cursed Spirit, but with 2 Paragons, I'm going to be heavily defaulting to blue creatures over black, roughly equivalent black creatures. Like, I think a Cursed Spirit's a bit better than Aeronaut Tinkerer, but with 2 Paragons, the Tinkerer trumps it. All right. Yes, I want the Research Assistant. Again, we need to fill this. We need to fill out this early stages. I mean, I don't want to run Fugitive Wizard. Okay, Appeal from Reality or a Coral Barrier. It's actually a pretty interesting decision here. I mean, Coral Barrier gives us 2 creatures. They can get bigger. One of them can even attack. But Appeal from Reality, I mean, we're going to be trying to beat down. Like, we're going to be trying to tempo our opponent out. And kind of put big swingy plays in with the Paragon here. So I'm going to take the Peel here. I'm not sure if that's correct. I think it's close to correct. Close enough, at least. Negate. Yep, sure. There's a Fugitive Wizard. I'll take a Mongrel here. This is fairly late for a Mongrel. We would need a few more of them, though, to push me back over into red, though it's possible. It's definitely possible. Research Assistant. Yeah, I guess with only 1 playable artifact currently, that also makes that plan a little worse. But I think there's definitely an argument for Borderland Marauder, Siege Dragon, and Scrapyard Mongrel versus Flesh to Dust and Murklurker. Which one of these do I want? Plummet's a pretty good card against us. I guess I want Caustic Tar as another top-end type card. Definitely want to play 1 Statute, at least have access to it. We're going to be looting pretty consistently with it. Sure. I mean, it is on color, and if we face like a hyper-aggressive deck, we can gain ridiculous amount of life with that if we end up being on the track that we're on. Remember, This is pack 2. We still have a whole nother pack to go. And I have to say, pack 2 didn't go very well. We really didn't pick up anything great for our deck at all. And the only really good card we got was Drawer by Murklurker, and we were just questioning whether we wanted to play it at all. So we'll have to keep that in mind. All right, back to the big decisions here. So black, not really a thing in this pack. Blue isn't really either, though I do like Turn to Frog a decent amount and Void Snare a little bit. The best card here, I believe, is Inferno Fist, or maybe Dauntless River Marshal, but Inferno Fist, you know, we could be red. Like, we could cut Caustic Tar, Flesh to Dust, Murklurker, and play Siege Dragon, Mongrel, Borderland Marauder, Inferno Fist. I think the pick is still probably just to take Turn to Frog here and just stick to our blue guns until something really shoves us over. Like, I think Turn to Frog and Inferno Fist they're close enough, and we know we're blue, so I'm going to take Turn to Frog. Ooh. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Lots of good stuff here. I was looking at the Lightning Strike, but we'll take the Soul. I mean, this is not the best of the Souls, but who cares? It is ridiculous still. And just a 6/6 for 6 is generally quite strong with any ability. All right, so that should pretty much put us into black here. What? Why are you here, Soul of Theros? I mean, we pretty much are priced in to take the Murklurker here. We don't really have a choice, but Soul of Theros is absurd. That's either the first or second best card in the whole set. Right there. That's the one. But yeah, we're taking Murklurker because we're going to do the same thing that apparently the person ahead of us did and say, well, I'm not running it, so here we go. Coral Barrier or Dissipate. We're on 13 creatures. Let's see. Peel, Research, Turn to Frog. One of them's a stupid Bronze Sable. Frost Lynxes. Kite Fins. Okay. I suppose we should just take the Coral Barrier here, or, oh, wait, maybe just take the Ulcerate, actually. Yeah, hell with that. Let's just take the Ulcerate. Yeah, I think Ulcerate's way better than Dissipate, and I think it's better than Coral Barrier here, too. So, yeah, I'm just going to take that. That makes way more sense. Another Peel from Reality, though. This third Peel is definitely not that amazing. All right. Yeah, I'll take a Welkin Turnover, a Sign of Blood all day in this particular build, and I am quite happy to see this. Make sure there's nothing else. Yes, Amphin Path Mage is a welcome addition to this deck. That actually changed things considerably. That just made this deck way, way better. Can probably just not play the Bronze Sable here at all. I mean, we do get a little bit of value out of it, but hopefully this thing's going to be a 3/4 on the ground or whatever anyway and just kill people. Plummet, I suppose? I don't know. Okay, an Evolving Wilds or a Void Snare. I guess I'll take the Void Snare. And another Kite Fins, though. I don't think we're going to run 2 of those, and we might not run Caustic Tar either. Whoops. Yes. Yes, you can. And how do I do this? There we go. New client's a little weird about that, but getting used to it. How have you guys been liking it? I got used to it pretty quickly. I had also started preparing ahead of time, if you guys saw, if you watched my videos. Which is familiar is generally better, but I really like the fact that we're just all blue here. Yeah, I'll go for another Void Snare. I don't think we're going to run both, though. All right, so we need to make some cuts for sure. I think we can cut 1 Peel. I think 2 Peels is plenty. It's a card I like quite a bit, but we got to be careful with it. Divination, Frostlinks, Murklurkers, and Crest probably makes the cut. Statute as well. Nimbus, Aether Spouts, Flesh, and then our top end is pretty nice too. I think Caustic Tar is one card I would consider cutting here. and maybe Encrust or Statute. We're pretty proactive in this deck. I think I'm going to cut the Statute here. I like it in a deck with this many blue creatures. Like, I get to activate its ability pretty often. I also don't know about Aether Spouts in this deck for each attacking creature. It's a pretty expensive trick when we're going to be looking to be attacking them pretty often. Yeah, why don't we actually cut Aether Spouts? I don't know if that's insane or not, but it doesn't feel like it to me. And maybe we run the Caustic Tar. Caustic Tar is a really solid finisher, and this deck should be able to get some pretty big beats in. Could also talk myself into another Void Snare here, as our deck really just needs time to sort of deploy everything. Once everything's deployed, it feels like our opponents can have a pretty rough time keeping up. Could also consider a Negate, the third Peel, the Statute, of course the Aether Spouts, and the Caustic Tar. I think these are all perfectly reasonable inclusions. The question is really Aether Spouts. Like, if we're able to deploy our game plan of like curving a 2-drop into a 3-drop into a Paragon, then I think we're going to be the ones beating down. And Aether Spouts gets a lot worse in that scenario. It also is very awkward to leave up 5 mana in a deck that can like make things unblockable. It can give things lifelink, can once leave up removal or activated abilities. Yeah, I feel like Aether Spouts probably isn't a great fit for this deck. I think I'll run one more Void Snare and try to be even more proactive. Yeah, let's try that. We can switch this deck around pretty nicely too. Statue of Denial can come back in. We can kill the Void Snares if they're not really doing enough. I think I want 11-6 here. I mean, 11 islands should be plenty to cast our stuff. Everything single. Look at that. Single, 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 single until we get to Kite Fins or Encrust. So we're going to be in a good spot. Could even 10-7 this thing, to be honest. It's a little extreme since our deck is so blue. But we've also got double black down the line. And we need to draw a third of our swamps to be able to cast those spells, which feels like it's pushing it a little bit. I think given that we have so few double blue spells, like we basically need 1 island to make our deck work. 2 would be better, but I think we can get away with just 10. 10's a lot anyway. All right, let's see what this thing can do. I'm curious.
Do you love to play Magic Online but have a tight budget? Check out MTGO Academy's Academy Budget Bot in the Magic Online Classifieds. All cards in stock are cheaper than 1 event ticket.
All right, here we are for the first round. And awkwardness ensues. This is a mulligan. We are on the draw, but no islands at all, and no real nothing. Even if we draw an island, we don't have much to do. Obviously, that's a mulligan. This is a keep. Get to leave Ulcerate up. And get some research assistance to hopefully power us out a little bit further into the long game. What do I not want to see here? I don't want to see... We both went to 5. I definitely don't care about Wall of Mulch, but I don't want to see white, basically. There we go. Okay, so he played a Netcaster Spider, which is pretty good against us, except for this whole situation. Yeah, we just got another research assistant, so can't really do much else here anyway. What is this guy up to? What is even happening? He's gathering research material. There's many words and phrases. Oops. All right, no attacks. Not really doing much. We're both kind of in the same mode here, I guess. Vineweft, huh? Well, I guess we get this sort of 2-for-1 here. I'm not saying I love this, but at the same time, that Vineweft means that the Netcaster Spider can start attacking, and the Netcaster Spider is going to be an issue at some point. And as you can see, I am dog-sitting for my girlfriend's friend. Hey! Dog's very small, but very angry. Alright, let's battle. Dog must not like green-red opponents or something. But this actually worked out really nice because we killed the Netcaster Spider, got a 2-for-1. I mean, this thing's going to be stuck for a while and doesn't do much anyway. And then we also happen to draw our Welcome turn, which means that we get to start beating down where the spider would have had to been dealt with anyway. So we got a little lucky there. The good news is we've got a really nice scenario here if we can manage to find another land in the next turn or two. Because we can go M15 Pathmage and then play Paragon after playing Welcome turn this turn and just smash him if he can't get back on his feet. So let's get in for a damage while the coast is clear. And play a Welcome turn. What do you got? What's the 4-drop of choice here? It is a Paragon. Paragon's pretty good. And unfortunately our draw was lame. 6-drop, which is really not what we wanted. But fair enough. Ooh, that's a good one. Wow. That is a bold attack, sir. So he has enough mana not for any real removal spell like Stoke the Flames, but he's got enough to give it +2/+2. I am going to double block. And the reason I'm doing this is because if he uses that spell to take out one research assistant, or maybe it's a crowd's favor, kill that. Yeah, it still only takes out one research assistant. Then he doesn't have anything to rummage, so his next draw step he has to just rummage away. So yeah, I'm going to double block. I'm pretty happy to get him on empty here. And if he kills a research assistant, I'm fine with that. There's really no way for him to 2-for-1 me here. It's just going to be a 1-for-1. It's crowd's favor, sure. What happened there? Oh, he misclicked. So he accidentally targeted the rummaging goblin. Which makes sense because I was like, he should have killed one and kept his guy, which I was willing to accept that. But he actually misclicked a bit there. So, Mize. Get in there for 3 damage this time. See if he sacks this wall. He's going to start getting pretty desperate here. And I mean, frankly, so are we. Like, we could be closing the door on this game in a huge way. All right, draw a card from a forest. He finds a mountain. Question is, do I want to peel something? I don't think I do. I want to hit a land. There we go. So if I play M15 Pathmage first, that probably makes more sense. Play Pathmage and then play Paragon. If I play Paragon now, I get in for 5 damage though, which is pretty strong. No, I think it's better to be patient because this thing's going to be able to attack through the wall anyway. Sometimes it's better to put the pedal to the metal, but I think the 1-turn shift here is probably better. I think it sets us up to win in 3 turns here, as opposed to being a lot more risky. Where if we just play the Paragon and he finds removal for it, we're set back like 2 to 3 turns more. He's going to sack the wall now. Great. That's pretty good for us. So card we'd like to avoid, Cone of Flame, for example, would be an absolute wrecking. So here we play Paragon and we attack with these 3. The question is, do we trade Path Mage for Venom Sliver? And the answer is probably no. The other play we have is to just peel the Venom Sliver with Research Assistant and then just attack. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. He has no good blocks. I think it's better just to go for the Paragon though. And attack with these. He's going to immediately snap trade one off, so that leaves the Amphin Path Mage a nice path to victory here. So he's got to have like a Cone of Flame level spell. Like, that's not going to do it. Now, if he's also got like a Lightning Strike, all right, he doesn't. He didn't even bother looting, which is interesting. He did have, or whatever, he did have that ability to. Anyway. What's good against this player? The Kite Fins were pretty bad. Though I don't really see anything that would be great either. We didn't see anything Statute of Denial-y. I mean, if he's aggressive, then Aether Spouts can be better, but not that exciting. Just going to submit. See if we can't get him again. We mulliganed to 5 that game, and we're not mulliganing this game. He mulliganed, I think, to 6 or 5 as well, though, so it's kind of a fair fight in that way. So this is actually a sweet hand. What this hand needs is something like a Welkin Churn, and, of course, lands. And there's that pesky wall again. Okay. Well, it looks like we're just going to be sitting back for a little bit and trying to do kind of a mid-game setup where we get some more creatures going, get a Paragon, lock something down, etc. Rummaging Goblin. I am going to kill that. He can get just way too far ahead with Rummaging Goblin. I got a lot of respect for that card. I think I just want a Divination here, though. There we go. That's business. So that'll be good. We can play the Path Mage next turn and start threatening the Wall of Mulch thanks to the Paragon. So this could work out pretty well for us. Verdant Haven. Okay. Runeclaw Bear. That's annoying. So we'll see if he has a burn spell for starters, because he'll just snap this thing off if he does. Oh, that's interesting. He's going to attack. I guess he figures the walls will do a good enough job of blocking anyway. A Rhino, which is charging. Okay. Play a Paragon. And I think I'm just going to Void Snare the Rhino. Then that forces him to replay it, and then I can Frost Links it, and then when it finally attacks, I can encrust it. But the Paragon plus Void Snare plan lets me get in for 4 damage right now, or force him to block and sack the wall. And I like that. He's just going to take it. And hopefully just replay the dumb Rhino. Yeah, he does. And he's still battling. All right, good for him. So we lock down this charging rhino. Ranger's Guile. Okay, that's good. So let's get in for 4. Because Turn to Frog is no longer a thing. Not going to block the rhino, just going to encrust it. Hornet Nest, that's awkward. Though I guess it's not too bad with Turn to Frog anyway. All right, so here's a Capsho Kite Fins, though, so that actually changes things a bit as well. So we Kite Fins, tap down the nest. He's on 0 cards, so that gives us attacks with this and this. Alternatively, I can encrust the Charging Rhino, attack with Path Mage, probably just Path Mage, and then I can Turn to Frog the Hornet Nest just to get it out of the way. That makes sense. Yeah, I can't attack with all 3 because he blocks Frostlinks on wall, Paragon trades with Bear, and then Path Mage hits that. So let's just attack with the Path Mage here. And just neutralize 2 of his biggest, I'm going to say threats, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't call Hornet Nest a threat per se, but it is an issue for our deck. And then we can play Kite Fins next turn. So let's turn this bug into a frog. Ooh, he's going to try to peel out of it. Oh, this could get ugly. This is a bold move if he does, though, because he actually kind of wants this wall to keep this Frostlynx at bay. But if he finds another Ranger's Guile or something, he's like, I don't know that we can win anymore. I mean, I suppose we could, but we're at 9, so I think this is very risky from him, though, because that Wall of Mulch has a lot of value on the table, and the chances he finds something that actually interacts in this spot are very low. He changed his mind. All right, I like that. Okay, so that thing goes away, and we freeze up the Charging Rhino and ship the turn. All right, so now we're set up for next turn, Kite Fins, and then the turn after that, win the game. That's our plan. And it was a Wayfinder. Ooh. He can make a beast as well. All right, so we got to be careful here, actually. Oh, Soul Fight? I like this. Probably just going to play the Soul of Innistrad here. It does a good job blocking the beast, and I just don't want to get randomly killed here. We don't really have any good attacks, so I'm just going to play the Soul. And I wonder if I actually just trade Amphin Pathmage for Runeclaw Bear Satyr Wayfinder. Because I can use this thing to get 3 creatures back next turn, and I have none in my yard right now. So I feel like maybe starting to grind him out's a good thing. Although maybe he just makes a beast and trades it. That's less exciting. Yeah, I'll just say go here. That's fine. I can always block and make those plays if I really want. All right, and there goes the Soul. Beast mode, engage. Yeah, you made a beast. So cards I don't want to see. All right, now the wall goes away. So that's kind of good news for us, though. It doesn't mean he's up a card here. And that one we don't care about so much. You got anything else? You do not. Great. Oh, wow. The Merc Daddy. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. So we can activate it twice as well. Or I can even just make a 4/4 Capsho Kite Fins. tapping down, I guess, Satyr Wayfinder. And then that lets me attack here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that lets me attack with the soul pretty nicely. In fact, it lets me just get a good attack in here. I could also tap down the beast and just let him chump with the Wayfinder. That's not too bad. I can also just make some stuff unblockable. So like I can hit him for 10 and just try to set up the win next turn. I don't want to die to whatever he has, though. Murklurker feels like a pretty safe play here. So I think I'm going to go with that. Let's play Murklurker. And I think I'm just going to run the Soul into his team here. Because I can attack with Soul, Frostlinks. Soul and Frostlinks pretty safely here. And he just doesn't have any good blocks. And I get to gain 9 and go to 18 and then have the Path Mage to finish him off. Yeah, he's just going to scoop. I mean, that's one of those spots where like I'm just trying to figure out how to not lose while still shutting the door on him in a timely fashion, like not getting too cute about waiting around to kill him. I mean, putting him to 10 seems good there, but if he untaps and has like Overwhelm or something and we just die, I feel like an idiot. Like, because I could have been at 18 and still threatened to kill him next turn or have his entire board wiped or whatever. So I think I like that one a little better. We'll see you guys in the second round.
If you'd like to purchase Magic Online cards with event tickets while logged in on Magic Online, look at MTGO Academy's selection by trading our official bot, Academy Sellbot. You can find it in the Magic Online trading area or add it to your buddy list.
All right, round 2. We are going to be on the play. I think I can keep this hand, though. I'm not excited about it. I am going to keep it, though. This could spell death for us if we're up against a quick opponent. If we're not, I think we're okay. 5 landers are always sketchy. Never quite know what's going to happen with them. Frostlinks is a great rip, though. Really any spell, I think. I mean, seeing a divination would be fantastic as well. All right, so tap down the Swiftclaw, ship the turn back. Probably play the Paragon, attack for 3, then Void Snare something, and hope we draw some more spells, basically. Void Snare could be interesting, unless, of course, this is Spectre Ward, in which case I am going to be very sad. And it is Marked by Honor, so fantastic, actually. Huh. Interesting. This is really interesting. So, what I don't want to do is Void Snare his Heliod's Pilgrim. Because if he puts the Marked by Honor on the Pilgrim and I bounce it, then he gets to research for something and there might be something else in his deck. There might not be. What I actually want him to do is put Marked by Honor on Swiftclaw. And then I can bounce it. So I think this turn is just going to be Paragon. And then fight him. And then see what he wants to do with the Marked by Honor. I mean, we get ahead either way. Like, it's not bad for us. If he puts it on the Swift Claw, then we can Void Snare it and kind of punish him. And if he doesn't, he's going to attack with the Swift Claw anyway. All right, yeah, so he went for it. Get in there for 6. So we're going to have to just let him have another crack at his Pilgrim. Oh, Peel. Peel's good too. But I think we just want to encrust this thing. And we're going to try to use Peel next turn on the Frostlinks to get whatever he tries to get with the Pilgrim. So let's encrust the Swift Claw to keep that thing out of play. And then Void Snare the Pilgrim. Five him. So, yeah, we're playing the tempo game. I mean, there's no other way to put it. We're on the tempo plan here. So let's see if he goes back in for the Pilgrim here. Nope, Razorfoot Griffin. Not a problem. Would love to see a spell off the top of our deck here for sure. That would put us in a pretty prime commanding spot here. Not a spell. Can give our Frostlinks flying, but it doesn't really change anything. So I'm just going to attack with it. There aren't any tricks that matter here, so he's just going to take it. So I suppose we're going to see the Pilgrim again here. Oh, Geist of the Moors. And then the Pilgrim. Wow, so he's just playing a lot more spells than we are here. And if we can draw a couple in a row, I think we might be able to finish him off. But if we can't, we probably are going to be in a fairly bad position because he can just start leaving stuff back and kind of grinding us with the Pilgrim and these flyers. So let's see what he searches up here. This is going to inform a lot of our decision about how we handle this Peel. Divine Favor, yeah. So we really need to leave the Peel up. And bummer. All right, go. We have one play we can make to get in for 3 damage, but it's a pretty short-sighted one. We can Peel from Reality the Geist, send the Frostlinks to the skies, and attack for 3, but wow. Doesn't really get us where we want to go, though. Yeah, we could get lucky and have him go super greed mode, but more likely he's going to throw Divine Favor on the Geist of the Moors here. Making it a 4/4 flyer and gaining the life seems like a good plan. We're probably going to have to just bounce the Razorfoot Griffin, replay the Lynx, tap down the Geist of the Moors, get in for 2 with our Paragon, and again, hope we just draw spells. We've only drawn 1, 2, 3, 4 from that early keep. We drew a key one right away, but then we've bricked. And I mean, yeah, we took on some risk with that, but all right, well, looks like we're just going to go for it right now. Well, he can't recast the Griffin, and we only take 3 damage. He's going to gain 3 life, though, from the Divine Favor now, which is annoying. Yeah, we need to hit, like, Divination into spells, basically. Or just draw some of our biggest stuff. Either one. He does nothing. All right, so there's a good draw. So he is representing the Exile My Guy spell. Though I'm not really sure that I can play around it so much at this point. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. As annoying as it is, I think I have to let him do it because he's going to kill something with it. And I feel like, I guess this does walk into random other combat tricks. Well, basically just the green one. Yeah, that's okay. He's going to trade something here if he has it. All right, he didn't have it, so that's sweet. So let's play Nimbus of the Isles. And then I think we wait to Frostlinks, right? If I Frostlinks lock down the Geist, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, plays the Griffin, which is a 2/2, and then he plays Divine Favor on it, which makes it a huge. Yeah, so we just wait. Now we have outs. Drawing the Nimbus was a big game, for sure. We needed that. Because now there's a lot of different cards that can actually just win it for us pretty quickly. Yep. Back to 10. And we take this hit. I mean, trading is an option, but... Oh, that's interesting. Guess he doesn't want to trade. I'm going to Frostlinks this thing down. He's got that Griffin in his hand. He can replay that, but it doesn't block well on the Nimbus. Darn it. That is annoying. Yeah, he's got Mass Calcify. Okay, fair enough. Not much we can do here. I'm going to bring in Negate. That takes care of some of these. Of course, we draw exactly what we needed, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we're just dead, so we're going to concede. I don't want to show him the Path Mage here. All right, so the timing on that was a little poor, and then, of course, we flooded slightly after keeping a land-heavy hand. So bummer for us, but so it goes. I think we want the other peel. Oh, we want Aether Spouts for sure against this guy. All right, so I don't think we need the other peel. I think we want the Aether Spouts instead of that. We want to negate, though. Void Snares are still good. Let's see, Chief. Yeah, these are all just stuff that we need. Turn to Frog is worse. We'll kill a Turn to Frog. Turn to Frog turns it into a 1/1, but if it has an aura on it, it still pumps it up. So that's going to be worse for sure. Flesh to Dust is obviously still quite strong. Encrust is still decent, though against 2 Marked by Honor, it's a lot worse. I'm going to cut it. All right, let's go. Let's get a little bit better of a draw. If we have a little bit better of a draw, I think we win that game. And our deck should normally be able to kill somebody before they resolve Mass Calcify. Absolutely going to play first, and we'll keep this one. It's slow, but at least it's got a lot of action. Can cast everything here. I mean, realistically, we can just go 4, 5, 6 here. And then if we draw any cheaper spells in between, we can do that too. Like there's one. Assist you. Soulmender we don't really care about too much. Oh, nice. A little backup plan here as well. Attack. Okay, that's fine. He's going to throw everybody in front. So that part's fine. The question is, do I want to peel from reality? I don't think I do. I think this is fine. Kill your Soulmender. You have 2 soldiers. It's not too bad. Though that being said, I could also peel here. No, I think that's fine. Because I'm just going to cast a Path Mage next turn anyway. I mean, I don't like losing my Research Assistant, but it doesn't really bother me. All right, so he's missing land drops now. I think I'm going to go for the Path Mage here. And my reasoning here is that I can take a hit. And if I draw a land, I can either Flesh to Dust or I can play Murklurker and leave up this whole deal. All right, so he's just curving out now. I get to prevent 1 soldier from attacking, but I think that this race favors us. We take 5. Then we play Murklurker. No land. All right, this is going to get interesting. Yeah, no land is a big game here. We have bricked off a bit. And this actually could get bad for us. Think that I still don't trade, though. Jeez. Yeah, this is a very losable game for us here. Like, we're 1 sanctified charge from being just pretty much toast. Pretty sure he's just going to ship with the Griffin here, though. He does. We'll take the Griffin hit. We need lands pronto. All right, let's peel the Griffin. All right, we hit our land, so that's good. Really just want to get this thing down so I can block this. He's tapped out right now. If I attack with the Murklurker, he just takes it. That's pretty easy for him. If I attack with the Path Mage, he just blocks with Skirmisher. I give it lifelink. I gain 3. I go to 11. He loses a Skirmisher, and I'm left with just this and this. That is a little scary, I won't lie. Yeah, I feel like he's just going to Sanctified charge us out here. So what is our plan against that? Don't really have a very good one, do we? I could Flesh to Dust the Selfless Cathar right now, which gets a pretty big threat off the table. I mean, it represents like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe another one of these, like 6 damage. And if I kill it, he needs a Sanctified Charge to really make a big move. Can also just shoot down the Griffin with Flesh to Dust and keep the immediate pressure off, assuming that he doesn't have one of these pump spells, one of the Sanctified Charges that we're worried about. And if I leave my mana up, it's going to make him tough. It's going to make it tough for him to attack on the ground without it. But he gets to just sort of keep hitting us, which is really annoying. All right, I'm going to go for Research Assistant and just say go here. Should have picked up a Fester Gloom somewhere. We saw a bunch of them in the draft. I wasn't really black at the time, so I took a bunch of blue cards over it, but it kills a hefty percentage of our opponent's creatures here, so it's a bummer we didn't do that. Yeah, he kept a landlight hand, but it had Soulmender, Raise the Alarm, Selfless Cathar, Swiftclaw, Skirmisher. I mean, it like it was a very fast hand, so it makes sense. We kept a slower hand, but I actually didn't think that he was going to be able to come out quite like this. All right, Griffin's in there. Play another one. Yep, that's fine. Play the Kite Fins here and ship the turn back. And hope we get an untap step. We might or might not. He might just have us dead here. Yeah, actually he just does. Well, no, he has to sack this to do it, so it's close. He probably just has us dead, though. I think this is the way we block. That way, if he sacks this, we take 3, 4, 5, and we're not dead. We're at 1. Wow, that could be a complete wrecking ball. One turn ago and it would have been ridiculous, but... All right, hey, that's better for us, actually, because I'm pretty sure he's just going to attack with everything here. Of course not. Yeah, he's playing really well. So we get to live. Where did he put them? Top. Yeah, he knows they're both lethal. Sort of. All right, we can't really do much here. Yeah, this is going to be a really tough one for us to win. We are going to try, though. Doesn't have any attacks. Oh. Unless I'm missing something. We can go to 4. What am I missing here? We go to 4, we take 3. Maybe he's just got a pump spell. Yeah, he's got Titanic Growth. And we should be still alive here, but barely. Should be at 1. All right, we're at 1. So the question is, can I attack here? The answer is technically yes. I can attack, give it lifelink. I go back up to 3. And if he attacks all in, I give this thing lifelink. Which means that I get to survive. And I think I should probably do that. He can't kill it right now. So this gets me out of most scenarios where I die this turn. He's just going to play the Griffin, which makes sense. And let's see, if he attacks with all 3 soldiers, I block and gain a life, so I take 2, but I gain 1. So he actually can get the Razorfoot Griffin lethal here, and he might think that it's worth it to sack a soldier to make this lethal next turn. Be interesting if he does do that. I wouldn't blame him. It's also a slippery slope, though, because I can attack back with my Merc Lurker and gain 2 life back again. He doesn't want me to be able to do that. That's interesting. I'm trying to keep a land in hand in case I can research assistant at some point. Ooh. Yes, I can divination and still have flesh to dust up or activations. Wow, all right. Okay, I think we just say go here. Could attack, but I can't gain life. Yeah, we need to untap here. If we get to untap here, I think things look decent. So it'll be interesting to see how he approaches this attack. He can't really send the soldiers, because if he does, I get to gain 3 life. I lose 1. That puts me at 6, and he's only doing 3. So yeah, he can't really attack. So even though I'd liked, maybe actually, maybe I just kill the Razorfoot Griffin right now. That basically locks him into just playing the other Razorfoot Griffin. No, I think this is still better. Yeah, this makes this attack a lot more awkward for him. Also, he might get greedy and go for something like a Marked by Honor and just try to finish me in the air, and then I can 2-for-1 him. That's a completely plausible play for him to say, well, look, I'm gonna try to shut the door, because I mean, I've been up against the rail here for a while. Like, I'm in a bad spot. We need a creature. We need a big one. We need a 3/3 flying or whatever. All right, he finally hit his 5th mana, so if he ships the team, then we know he's got Sanctified Charge, but he doesn't. No blocks. All right, so we need to kill that. And then he plays another one. Sure. Vulcan turn, that's decent. Not great matchup, of course, for the Razorfoot Griffin, but it will chump block it. He already used 1 Titanic Growth. He probably doesn't have another pump spell here. I think I have to attack. Super sad about it, because if he wants to stack up his team, he can kind of get me here, because Merc Lurker is one of my best ways to come back from this game. But as it sits, if all I do is play Welcome Turn and chump, I'm not getting ahead. I don't even get to gain life off the Welcome Turn either. Also, it's really risky for him to block here. He also might feel forced to do it, though. But if he does, I guess worst case, I do trade for the Razorfoot Griffin, and that's not bad. As Research Assistant should be able to hold down the fort here if I'm at 5 life. So let's give this thing lifelink. 2, 3, 4. Welcome turn, and I think I'm going to go ahead and play my last land here as well. I'm planning on looting here, depending on how this attack step goes. Griffin, I think, just hits me. Yeah. I can chump block, but it doesn't do much. And if Welcome Turn gets actually... Oh, yeah, right. He's got... Oh, this is a third one. All right. Is there anything for 1 mana that I can get? No. So let's just let that happen and see if he's got anything else. Like a Sunblade Elf would be nasty. Yeah, we're still pretty far behind here. Chief. I'll take it. It's a spell at least. All right, we'll make the same play as last time. God, this is a close game. We are barely hanging on. Play another blocker. Ship. Here's Mark by Honor. Oh, geez. Wow, he's just going off now. Yeah, we need to find something huge and fast, like the fastest we can. He's got a Divine Favor and a Mark by Honor in his hand now. So I can attack him back. So we go to 1 here. But I can attack him back for 2 in the air. Or I can leave it back to block 4 power or something. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to block here. Negate's interesting. Not good enough. Definitely not good enough. Ooh, I shouldn't have tapped 1. I should have left 1 swamp and 1 island. Because I could activate potentially 3 times there. If I attack now, he's definitely blocking, though. I'm basically going to trade Heliod's Pilgrim, I guess, for it. Yeah, we're going to lose. Shoot. So I can go back up to 3 here and have 3 blockers, but he's got 5 attackers on the ground thanks to these Pilgrims, plus something's going to be huge. I'm going to negate it, but... all he really has to do is turn these 2 things sideways and I die anyway. So I must attack with the Merc Lurker. But if I do that, I'm dead, assuming that he moves in. If I attack with Murklurker and Welkin turn, I can go back up to 5, but only have Engineer to block 5 creatures on the ground, so I can't do that. So I leave Welkin turn to block a Griffin, especially if he decides to make one of them big. And we die. I expect him to put Pilgrims and Soldiers in front. Yeah, I get to kill 2 soldiers. I guess that could count. That's right. Still, we just don't have any life total to work with. When you don't have any life total to work with, like even random, these things are all lethal. I mean, they won't be after this attack step, but still. Yeah, he's got us here. Boo. I like this deck too. It was kind of cool. Opponent played well though. Like he could have just gotten sloppy and walked into that Aether Spouts and lost like not just the 2 Griffins, but like the rest of his board, which I would not have minded him doing. I wouldn't be surprised if he just ships the team here. Block, take 2, 4. So yeah, we're just dead if he goes all in. Mark by honor. Negate. Divine favor, sure, and we're dead. He knows that we don't have it either. All right, good games. Yeah, so that was a weird one. I'll have to go review that game. I think we were okay, but definitely some interesting decisions to be made there. It felt like he had the upper hand at every stage of the game. Really, really quick start from him put us back on our heels, and we never, ever quite got over the edge. Like, if we would have drawn, say, like the soul, and we get one hit in where we give it lifelink, now we're in business. Now we're in business. Like, that's a thing where we can work with the life total and take a hit. I mean, if at any time he has like a combat trick or a removal spell, we just lose that game anyway. We were lucky to make it that far, to be honest. Anyway, thanks for hanging out this week, guys. I always enjoy my time with you here on MTGO Academy. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my name is Marshall_LR. You can also send me an email, lr@lrcast.com, if you want to join the clan. Very easy. Just send me a message on here like this person did here, and I'll send you an invite. The only rules, you know them. Can't be a jerk. Gotta love Magic. Super easy. For all things limited resources, lrcast.com is where you want to go. See you next week.